C'est une chanson qui nous ressemblait. Toi, tu m'aimais et tu t'aimais. Merci, said Renee. Monsieur Claude smiled. Her French was horrible and not getting better. She was cute, though, and she showed a talent for clowning. She had that Jeannie says quay, as she might say. Claude was an 80-year-old man now. He looked younger because he'd always been active and laughed often and ate only French food, never less corn dogs or cotton candy that the rest of the clowns in America seemed to gorge on daily. Claude could tell that Renee was passionate about clowning, and she was passionate about him. He knew this trailer visit. He'd seen it many times with young clowns over his years as a clown mentor. The trick he'd found was to act surprised when they got around to what they were thinking. They'd always say something innocent-ish that one could interpret in different ways, or they'd make a physical move that one could interpret as an accident, even though there's no chance that it is. Monsieur Claude sat down across from Renee at the trailer table. Her first croissant was half eaten, and his second one was waiting. 2 croissants in the morning, no lunch, and a light supper at 8. This was the secret. Also, a liter of brandy per day and only 12 cigarettes, along with as much strong coffee and tea as he wanted. This was his sustenance for over 50 years as a clown, and he wouldn't change a thing. He thought he would if he died. He thought he would die if he did. Renee wasn't touching her croissant. Is there something wrong with my croissant? Claude asked. Oh no, Monsieur Claude de Boom Master. The croissant looks delicious. I don't know how I can possibly thank you for everything you've shown me, and for this croissant, and for taking me on as your pupil. You've been so kind and such a gentleman. How can I ever show you how thankful I am? She asked. Claude smiled a good-hearted elder clown smile and placed his elder clown hands on top of hers, which was resting palm down in an innocent-ish, student expressing gratitude pose. Shh, mon petit, he said. I am the teacher. I teach. You are the student. A very promising student, it's true. I can show you much more if you're willing. My thanks is the alive feeling I get from watching you develop and mature as an artiste. You show your gratitude when you do your best and you hold nothing back. A wiser clown than I once told me, live like the tiger, fast, hard. You live the life of the tiger and I will give you all I have of myself to see you excited and blooming as a clown. Renee wiped tears from her eyes. This was Claude's favorite part, the magical moment where innuendo and innocent expressions of gratitude take the turn, the dance of the student-teacher love affair he'd been rehearsing and had mastered over the years. That's so sexy, Master, Renee said. She was a bold one, Claude thought. Good move. He knew where to take it from here. L'art is sexy. We live for the sexy art. We get wet for the sexy art. We feel more. We have passions and desires and loves that are larger than life. We show the world what life of exaggerated, ecstatic, wild, untamed emotion and pure feelings feels like. Only we can express this joy, this pleasure, this love of the pleasure and the pain, the orgasm of the art of the clown. Renee licked her lips and pushed her leg between Claude's legs and pressed outwards to connect her knee with the inside of Claude's thigh in the unmistakable gesture of moving it forward. Monsieur Claude continued, to teach you, to be your master, as you say. This is my greatest joy, my pleasure. I would like to give you other pleasures, Master, Renee said after a pause, during which she pressed harder on his inner thigh. Monsieur Claude said, I am an old man, but I am not yet dead, and I am still a man. You are beautiful, Renee, and I would like this very much. Renee slid around to Monsieur Claude's side of the table. She kept her eyes locked on his as she moved, and she smiled a tiny, sexy smile. Monsieur Claude looked into her eyes as an experienced teacher guiding a young, virginal student through her first time. Renee was not young. 22 was old to be learning clowning with this much intensity, and she wasn't virginal. This was the dance. She offered her hand to Monsieur Claude, and she arrived on his side of the table. With his other hand, he touched her cheek, establishing control, then slid his fingers back and tugged her hair, establishing his desire. Renee placed her hand on Monsieur Claude's cock and felt it stiffen as she traced its outline through his thin pajama pants. She unzipped his pants, looking Monsieur Claude in the eye. She lowered her head to his lap. Thank you. This is from my book, Ferment, which is available on Amazon and other places. The book is called Ferment.